The Office of New York State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman issued a notice of violation to the Donald J. Trump Foundation and ordered the foundation to cease and desist from soliciting contributions in New York. The notice states that the Trump Foundation failed to register with the Charities Bureau before soliciting contributions or engaging in fundraising activities, but the New York Attorney General and real estate mogul are no strangers. We're going to talk about the pair's past, and our guest is going to help us sort through all the legalities concerning the latest suits. Right now, I'd like to welcome New York criminal defense attorney Ken Perry from the firm Perry and Aronin. Ken, Attorney General Schneiderman says his office is still in relatively early stages of its investigation of the Trump Foundation. What are they looking for right now?
Well, I think the first thing they're going to be looking for is that for a charitable organization to operate within the state of New York, it has to register. There are forms for doing that. There is actually, the state puts out a handbook for people who want to set up charitable organizations. It puts out all the steps that have to be followed. And there are a number of laws. There's the executive law, general obligation law, tax law. There's a not-for-profit law. There's the estates, power, and trust law. And all these different laws have different things that have to be done for you to operate legally within the state. And one of those most important things is you have to file as a charitable organization. Now, that's whether you're charitable and not-for-profit or you're charitable and for-profit. And the funny thing is that even if you feel that you don't have to register, you have to fill out the form and put on the form why you don't have to register.
Okay.
So I think the first thing that they're going to be looking at is he in fact registered properly, and has he done all the steps that have to be done once he's registered, which is his yearly filings. Are the people that he's using to raise money, are they registered properly with the state? And that's one of the things I've been involved with over the years, is dealing with certified fundraising professionals who also have to be registered with the Charity Bureau of the Attorney General's office. These are all things that have to be done before a charitable organization can operate legally within New York State.
Okay, and you would know a lot about that as an attorney, but also your wife is a registered fundraising consultant, so you also have her to fall back on as well.
Yes, I mean, over the many years of our marriage, I've had to deal with filings that she's done. The state is very, very particular in making sure, as the fiduciary of the state itself, making sure that people who are raising money within the state follow the rules. It's especially important if you look at the law, especially the executive law. It's considered a fraud upon the people of the state of New York to fail to file the forms you have to file, to raise money improperly, to expend money improperly.
Lots of hoops to jump through. So in September, Schneiderman said he was investigating reports that Trump's foundation gave money to the Political Action Committee of Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. Now, that's a clear violation of IRS rules, and Trump paid a penalty for that. Schneiderman says that's where his investigation actually began. The Trump campaign called that investigation a left-wing hit job. Schneiderman is also suing Trump over his now defunct Trump University. Do you see a political motive behind this, or does Schneiderman have a legitimate case here?
Schneiderman has a duty as the chief law executive officer of the state of New York to make sure the laws of this state are followed. I don't think, and again, I mean, I'm not part of his decision making, but I don't think that if he failed to do so, I think he would be derelict in his duty.
Okay. Does this cease and desist apply in New York only, or does it apply everywhere?
It applies to cease and desist. There's a 15-day rule. Within 15 days, the Trump organization has to show the proper filings and the proper accountings to the state. He may not raise money within New York State during that period. Is he violating laws in other states? I don't know. Is he violating the IRS code? He could very well be. That's not something that we're talking about, not something I've paid that close of an attention to. But vis-a-vis New York state law, he has, as far as I can tell from what the information I have is, he has violated the law if in fact he has not filed properly. And under the law, it is a continuing act of fraud against, quote unquote, the people of the state of New York.
So if he's not registered in New York, does he need to be registered in other states in order to fundraise there as well, or is it just the one state where it's established?
I would imagine that he would have to be registered elsewhere. I know if a foreign charitable organization comes into New York, they have to file.
Okay, so moving forward, he has to prove that he's being compliant and show that his foundation has been complying in order to collect these funds again in the future.
That would be my feeling. Again, I'm not privy to the facts. I'm not privy to what he's filed, what he's not filed, to what states he's operating on. But vis-a-vis New York, he has to be filed, or at least he has to file what's called the CHAR 410, which is one of the filings. And in that filing, if he thinks he's exempt from New York filing requirements, he has to state why he is exempt.
How long do you suppose this process could be drawn out for? Do you think it's something that can be resolved in the next couple of weeks, or do you think this could possibly drag on up until the election, perhaps?
That's a question that could either go either way. He has 15 days to provide to the state the documents he is required to provide. The Attorney General has the right to go into any Supreme Court within New York to require that, and in fact can require Mr. Trump to appear and answer questions in front of that court. The law also provides not only for civil penalties, but as I read the law, because it states that the state can pursue any other legal remedy, and since it is specifically called a fraud upon the people of the state, I wonder whether criminal actions would lay. Again, I'm not hired to do that. I don't know. But these are questions that have come to my mind as I've been hearing and reading.
You do bring up a very fascinating point. Now, if Trump were elected, could this Trump University fraud case or this Donald J. Trump Foundation case or any other cases be grounds for impeachment?
Impeachment is supposed to be, I think, high crimes and misdemeanors. Would that come to the point of, would a pre-action prior to him being elected be a high crime or misdemeanor? I don't know the answer to that. I think it is a very interesting question, and I'm sure should something like that occur that there will be people looking into it. I don't know the answer.
Certainly a question in a lot of people's minds. It's been a very rough week for Donald Trump for this past week or so. Some have called his last debate with Clinton a little bit shaky. Then we had the tax records released that showed him taking a near $1 billion loss. And now this lawsuit. Ken Perry, great to have you on with us tonight.
Thank you so very much. I enjoyed being on.